Hello, this is Colleen with Teentastic Families, and today I'm talking about introverts and extroverts, what the differences are, and how to reach each of those, because our teens and ourselves, we are all either introverts or extroverts or a mixture of the two. So what are extroverts? Let's start with them. Extroverts are the party goers. They're the life of the party. They're outgoing. They love people. They have an energy. They love to tell stories. They're spontaneous. Everyone loves the extrovert, unless you're married to one and you're an introvert. No, usually opposites attract. So you're going to find that if you're in a relationship that usually opposites attract. So if you're one, you're probably a significant other is going to be the opposite. So introverts, let's talk about you. Introverts are quiet. Usually they're the thinkers. They can just stand back and watch, right? At the party, they're wallflower, and they kind of enjoy being the wallflower. They don't have to be in the midst of the nonsense going on, right? So they don't talk as easily, and their attention span is limited. They hate change, and they're not spontaneous. So again, you can have a bit of a mixture. You can also learn as you age, you do slightly change your personality as well. So the main difference between extroverts and introverts is how you recharge. A lot of people are surprised when they find out that I'm an introvert, because I actually do very well in public. I can talk to almost anyone. But how I recharge is I have to be at home, quiet, cup of tea, book or something, and that's how I recharge. Whereas extroverts, they recharge by being around people. So if they're feeling gloomy, they have to go out. They have to see people, do something, talk. And so when you have these different people in the household, it affects things very greatly. First of all, just even solving a problem. So I'll just use my husband and I know this is a teen thing, but just go with me here. So when my husband and I disagree about something, we have a discussion, or say I've done something wrong, I've offended him and stuff. And so he tells me about it, and he's often accuses me of, not even saying sorry, because in my mind, I'm thinking, well, that's a given, because I feel bad for what I said or did. And so I'm processing. I'm thinking, how did I come to that conclusion? Why would I have said that? What was the circumstances? So in my mind, I'm just like trying to figure out why. And my husband just wants to talk about it. Let's push it through. Let's resolve it. Come to a decision and have it over with. But he has learned that he needs to give me space. So for introverts, and this is your teens as well. So if you come to them with a problem, talk about it. If they start to zone over, or you can see they're thinking, tell them, okay, I'm going to come back in 15 minutes so you can talk about it, or so you can think about it, and then we'll discuss it. I tell you, parents, that is one of the most valuable things you can do for your teen. Even little kids, when they've done something wrong, go to your room, I'll be there in 10 minutes, and it gives you time to control your emotions, right? And so you don't scream and yell at them or something else. We did this once with our son, and he put on every pair of underwear. We did paddle our children when they did something wrong. Put on every pair of underwear under his pants, just so it wouldn't hurt so much. But it's amazing what they can do in that 10 minutes. But again, that 10 minutes means we did not discipline in rage, and no, spanking is not against the law. You just cannot use an object, and that's from social services. So it has to be your hand. But anyways, rabbit trail, introverts and extroverts. So give your introvert time to process. Okay, don't rush in. And yet, if your child is an extrovert, they may want to see it through. So play around with this, find out what your kids, every child is going to be different, right? And so, and just for general communication, One thing is holidays. I've seen videos, and you have too, on Facebook or Instagram, TikTok, wherever, that where parents, say, we're going to go to grandma's, so kids pack, and on the way in the car, they surprise them, we're going to Disney World. Instead, we're not going to grandma's, and they're supposed to be all excited. And you know what? The extroverts, they do well with that. The introverts are not even going to be able to enjoy the holiday for the first half of it, because they haven't had time to prepare mentally. And so if you have found that your holidays have backfired, and I know autistic kids can desperately need this, they need a advance notice, right? And just even myself, like, of course, as an adult woman, as we get older, it's easier to put on weight. My husband decides, oh, let's go for ice cream. And I'm thinking, I just had a big lunch. Had I known I was going for ice cream, wouldn't have had a big lunch, right? So, and that's just a little example, but you can see how introverts think, that we plan our moves. And so you need to let them know. And also too, with planning holiday, also too, they can get in on, okay, what's it going to take to get there? Okay, you're going to have to start saving up spending money. So your babysitting jobs, your, whatever they do, shovel sidewalks or rake grass or mow grass, whatever they do to earn money, they need to start saving. So it's great to talk about holidays in advance. It desperately helps introvert. And it's good for the family too, because think, okay, family, we want to go to Disney World. So there's going to be no eating out. There's not going to be any extra spending. Christmas this year is going to be one gift each, right? We're saving. And you know what? When kids are and teens are given a plan, they are so much easier to understand. One thing with extroverts is they love to tell stories. Unfortunately, they lose people. My husband loves to tell stories, and so he'll say, yeah, the other day I took our dog for a walk, and just past the shed. I like to take him out there. He likes to sniff out animals and stuff. They sleep under the sheds back there, and so he's going on with the story, and people start to zone out, and you're like, they're thinking of something else, right? So with what I have learned is you tell the punchline first, and you'll get the introverts with this. And that's why I say to tell the holidays, say we're going on a holiday, right? And then you back up and you backtrack and talk about how this is all going to look. For myself, I talk to people, it's like, our dog got sprayed by a skunk. And then everybody's like, what? And they want to hear more. Whereas, and then I say, well, we have these sheds at the back of the yard, and there's animals that live underneath, and we can't tell what the tracks they are sometimes because it's grass in summer. But our dog, he found a skunk that lives under there, and he got sprayed. And so you can see the difference of the stories, right? My husband's taking a dog for a walk. Well, hell boring, And so with your teens too, if you come to the point of the conversation, my sister used to work for an introvert, severe introvert. In fact, people just avoided him at all costs because they didn't know how to talk to him. And she took an introvert and extrovert course, actually. And even though she was an extrovert herself, her boss was not. And she had learned that if she goes to her boss and says to him, I have 2 questions for you. First one, and then she stated her question, so we have to make a decision, this or this. And actually the introvert, like the boss, was able to say, make a decision right there, but in his mind. And she says, okay. And so he knows there's a second one. So it's just the way the introvert thinks. And so she tells him the second, question, and he can say sometimes, okay, I'm gonna have to think about that, I'll get back to you. By the end of the day, she had an answer. And so it is so important to know how to reach both the extrovert and introvert. And with your teens, it's no different. They're going to process things a little different. So when you're problem solving, just general conversation, it's good to keep these things in mind. And your life will be that much better. The communication in your home will be that much better when you keep these things in mind, and if you purpose to help them out with understanding and not stressing out, and they don't stress out then too. All right, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed it, and please subscribe, hit that subscribe button down below this video, and you can hit that pretty little notification button and you'll be notified every time I put out a new video. And I usually do 2 a week, one on Tuesday and one on Friday. And so you can get ready for the next one. But again, hit subscribe right now. Don't miss the next one. And we'll see you next time. Also too, you can reach me by email. I am a coach and I work with parents of teens. So if you don't want to wait for the next video and you want me to walk you through, I have 2 90-day programs that will help you walk through some different, how to become a good parent to a teenager. And so contact me if you'd like to know more about that. The email address is Teentastic Families. So TEEN tastic, TASTIC, families @gmail.com. And just send me an email that you'd like to have a free 45-minute strategy session, and we'll chat. We'll go over what you're dealing with in your home and how I can help, and if a coaching program is right for you or not. The 45-minute strategy session is free regardless. And so you can do that, or I have Facebook's page as well. Just look for Teentastic Family. All right. If you haven't click that subscribe button. Remember to do it. All right. We'll see you next time on Teentastic Families.